of my glove compartment and my middle console, everything that was identifying me was taken out and neatly placed on my passenger seat like a serial killer. And I immediately filed a police report and stated in that police report that the feds were at my house 2 weeks before, and that I believe that this was witness tampering and intimidation. And I still do believe it. So,
oh, baby. Here we go. She's back. Firing at your boy Cino and everybody else who called her out on her BS. Now it's time to demonstrate. I don't know why they want to play this game with me. Why? But we gonna hear them out as we always do. We give everybody their just due. So let's hear her out, and we're going to take it from there. Start the show.
Hi, I'm Karceno.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Karceno and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them.
hey, y'all. As one of the actual...
Remember this lady here? This is Diddy Chef, his ex-chef, that came out and started making all these claims about the Diddy man. She started going insane and doing all this other stuff, right? And yesterday, if you was here, you saw she made this post talking about this.
minor victims to Sean Combs' physical assault while I was employed by him. As someone who was a witness to the abuse towards Cassandra Ventura Fine during my time of working for Sean Combs, I would just like to say that this is a grave miscarriage of justice. And I would like to also address that last year on March 20th.
Well, anyway, that's what she did, talking about she feared for her life, Diddy's being out. So all the backlash she received from me, and that after my video, she wanted to address your boy Cino and everybody else, right? So let's listen to her go.
Hey, it's me again.
Yeah, you popping now.
I just wanted to address a few things because I know that it's been very confusing to see my initial post about my reaction to the verdict and me saying that I was afraid. And I'd like to explain that, yes, being contacted by the federal government is terrifying. The fact that their visit happens on March 20th, and by April 4th, really, I was made aware that Sean Combs already knew about that visit, even though I declined to speak to the feds when they came. That's why I was served with the grand jury subpoena. So my thing is everyone's like, oh, that's not witness tampering, that his lawyers were trying to pay your legal fees. Now, riddle me this. If someone has assaulted you in the past and they threatened your life because you know about them brutally assaulting the person that they are with, that's at the center of the case, why would you be offering to pay my legal fees? Riddle me that, okay? And I wasn't responding. So there are text messages, and I do have voicemails from that lawyer too, because they were trying to reach me. And now, in the interim of me not responding, my car was mysteriously broken into. It's a smash and grab in this city, but my car, the alarm system was disabled, and the contents of my glove compartment and my middle console everything that was identifying me was taken out and neatly placed on my passenger seat like a serial killer. And I immediately filed a police report and stated in that police report that the feds were at my house 2 weeks before, and that I believe that this was witness tampering and intimidation. And I still do believe it. So for everyone saying, oh, he's not thinking about you, oh, he's not going to do anything to you, oh, nothing's going to happen to you, oh, you're being dumb because now you're saying where you're at. He knows where I'm at. He been knew where the fuck I was at. So there's those details. And maybe that's the only thing where anything to do with me and I have to say is alleged, because I don't have proof that he made people do that. And I believe that he did because he wanted to control my interview with the government. Like Jane. What else? All these men that are stepping up now and that are saying, oh, it was just a little prostitution. Oh, it was just a little this. Oh, it was just a little drugs. If you have to pump people full of drugs for them to participate in sexual activities that you want to do, that is coercion. And I don't think that they wanted to do it. And for multiple women over decades to have said that he raped them, I believe them. I know Cassie. She said it happened. I believe her. I know Mia. She said it happened. I believe her. Kat, my friend, said it happened. I believe her. And in some of the documentaries, there's a common thread. None of these women had spoke to each other. You want to know what the common thread is? Is that his eyes turned black and he looked like a demon. And so I believe that he was doing these things when he was out of his mind because he was a drug addict. Because he was a drug addict. He is a drug addict. Yeah. And so a lot of the verbal abuse and tantrums that us employees that were dealing with him quietly and silently were due to his drug abuse, because he was a fucking drug addict, a high functioning drug addict. And then it's like, oh, why are you guys saying something now? And because I can now. And you know what? And I just don't care no more. And he's getting away with everything that he's done for decades. And all of these men that keep trying to pacify the behavior, y'all are predators too. So if you gotta pump women full of drugs so that you can have sex with them, you're a fucking predator, okay? So yeah. So I just wanted to get that off of my chest too. Let me see. What else do I want to get off of my chest? Multiple executives over decades have helped cover up crimes, okay? And it should have been focused on them, because the reality is nobody values women. Nobody cares about what was happening to them. Abuse apparently doesn't matter. When you pump people full of drugs to get them to do what they want to do, apparently they were doing it because they wanted to. No, but if the focus would have stayed on all the executive, I don't know why this wasn't presented. I don't know on my case. And that's what my lawyer had to keep telling me. So then it's like, why didn't you testify? Because I freaked out on them. Because I told them literally, you're going to lose it. Because I don't know what you guys are doing. And so, yeah, just wanted to clear that up. And I understand that you guys don't really understand sex work. And there is a lot of nuances. And listen, people's sexual kinks is not the problem. But when you have to beat people into a submission, that is the problem, okay? I don't know how nobody understands this, but I stand with victims. And yeah, and I want to move forward, but I just don't understand. You guys don't know Cassie. I believe that she was raped. You don't know Mia. I do. I believe she was raped. You don't know Kat. I know her. I believe she was raped.
Oh.
He's a fucking rapist. And so I don't care. That's what I believe. Have a great day, everyone. Fuck. Oh, hey.
So, as you can see, she was a little triggered by my video. You're a little triggered, huh, babe? Well, allow me to retort. That's a lot to unpack, fellas. That's a lot to unpack. She's your speed, you know. Yeah, crazy. I done had about 4 of those. Seem like I had a chick like her name was Azarea, just like her. Her head was in the stars and the incense and the burning sage, and yeah, just never where it should be on earth. Right, we sitting there making out. I'm sucking boobs, and she's. You ever thought about the stars? I'm like, I'm busy. Oh my goodness. Now, here's the thing. Let me address her, because once in a while, you know, reality doesn't set in for her. And I want to say this to you, Chef Jordan. You know, you worked with Floyd. You worked with many other people before. And you said he's a drug addict, right? Well, we'll get to that. Let's go back to the beginning of what you were saying. Now, when you first started off, you was talking about actually being subpoenaed, right? Because that's what she said, right? She was subpoenaed to be there. Like, that's the only reason she showed up, because she said they contacted her and said, why would they offer to give me a lawyer? It's not witness tampering. This is what I said in the video that she was responding to, that I said it wasn't witness tampering because you were never the witness yet. How were they to know you were the witness? What they were saying is we could have represented you. They was trying to get information in the case from people that, because it's been like 20 some years ago. He don't recall anything. And I have a question for you. Have Diddy ever hit you? You keep saying minor victim. And I understand why you keep saying minor victim, because Diddy never hit you. You were never in no beatdown. You jumped in somebody else's business. And he came to you and poked you in the face and said, your job is to cook food. This ain't none of your goddamn business. And then pushed you away. He made a guy who hit you, the assistant, he didn't hit you, he grabbed your wrist and twisted. He made that guy apologize to you. So you keep saying you were a minor victim to him, and that he's all of these things. He's an R word, he's all these different things, right? You put all of this on him. Why? What was the case? Why did you feel a need to put the R word on him when you've never seen that happen? You have never seen that materialize and happen in front of you. Ever, 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 ever. You haven't. Kate, my friend said it happened. It happened. Well, tell your friend Kate that if it happened, why is she still writing, emailing this guy, happy birthday? Why is she looking at pictures on with Diddy with his shirt off, going, ooh, like, all right, sexy, putting up all these heart emojis when she wasn't working there? Why is your friend emailing him all of these things? Oh, this is so many fun times we had. That's not what you do if you're a victim. This is why the jury is like, we don't believe none of these hoes. Because all of the evidence proves that they ain't nothing but money grubbing hoes. That's all they are. Your friends. Since you want to talk about it, Chef Jordan, let's talk about it. Your friends was nothing but money grubbing hoes. Cassie, hoe. Money grubbing hoe. Not talented, can't sing, can't dance. All she did was look good. Let's get to the facts. Why did they offer to pay for my lawyer? Of course they want to pay for your lawyer. They want to get in control and ahead of this situation. There was nothing there that even happened with you. So yeah, them paying for a lawyer would have been cool. They wanted to control what I would say. Well, if you're going to come do what you're doing anyway to try to damage the case, of course they're going to want to talk to you. That's the lawyer's job who's representing his client. Let me go and talk to these people. Name some people who might have a grievance with you, who might have an axe to grind. Let me contact them to see if the feds contacted them. Once they become a witness, they can't talk to you no more. The lawyer can contact you because that's the lawyer's job. Diddy ain't calling you himself. The lawyer's contacting you. And you talking about this, your car was broken into after the fact. Diddy's in jail. Okay, or about to turn himself in. They break into your car to get what? What could be in your car that's going to be relative to what you could say in the case to Diddy? They know where you live. So they're not after you. So why would they break in your car and stack everything up neatly? Do Diddy seem like he roll with those kind of guys? That they do things like that neatly? Really? Why would they be breaking in your car? That seemed like, and they disabled your alarm on your car. Sounds like the government did that to you when you didn't respond to none of their messages. Then they sent you a subpoena, and that was the only way you went there. So why didn't you question the government breaking into your goddamn car? Then you call Diddy a drug addict. That's pretty weird. That is pretty weird. Because I'm asking, weren't you a drug addict? Weren't you in rehab? Think I don't do my homework, Chef? So you want to say Diddy's a drug addict and you want to call out a drug addict. Is that what they do in AA? You want to call out a man who's admitted he's a drug addict and he was on drugs. He admitted to this. In a court of law, they have admitted to him having a drug problem. Y'all say, oh, it's just to cover it up. You just basically went against the prosecution who said he was always like that. And you saying, no, his violence came because he's a functioning drug addict. So now that the man has been in remission and hasn't been on drugs and been going through all of this change, all of the stuff y'all talking about is from 10 years ago. You haven't seen Diddy since 2010. You haven't been around him since 2010, I believe. That's 15 years. Oh, we ain't got to go that far. You know what? Y'all ain't got to take my word for it. We'll take her word
y'all,
for it. Let's listen.
It is July 4th, and today marks 7 years of my alcoholic sobriety. And I wanted to say shout out to me because I made it. Because I would definitely like to admit there's been a few days throughout this past year that I definitely debated drinking, especially in the last 48 hours.
Why did you stop drinking?
Ahead.
Why did you stop drinking? 7.5 years. Congratulations. But why did you start drinking? Tell the people. What made you give up the bottle? Why did you have to stop drinking? Because you was losing clientele. Right, Chef? You was losing work. Reason why you in that doggone Ford Expo right now. Any little job to cook you could take because you used to get sloppy drunk, and you were unbearable to be around. Let's get to the facts. You were loud, obnoxious with your girls. Please talk about the drugs too. Don't leave those out. Please don't. This is what we talk about, people. This is what we talk about. They want to make excuses for everything, and you can call Diddy a drug addict, but can't call yourself one. How about that? How about that for fresh? Won't call yourself a drug addict, but you quick to call Diddy one. How convenient. But we should applaud you for your 7 years. You're not the only one that struggles and goes through things. Everybody do. Everybody is fighting and going against something you just don't know. So yes, Cassie lied because the evidence proves she lied. Your friend, it didn't make sense because they know victims of R-word and people who have been R-worded, they don't react that way. They don't sit there and congratulate the people that has victimized them. They don't go around them dancing. They don't do none of these acts if they're a victim of the crimes that they have been accused of. Miss Jordan. See, you can run that little script on everybody else. That script don't work on me. That script can work on everybody else but me. They know. They all know, and they want our attention. They know that. That's why they put in this game. She's trying to use the social media like to influence the judge. You have no bearing on this. Like they said, this is not your case. So why do you want to talk now? Because I can talk right now. He's an R-wordist. No, he's not. You got to get girls to put on drugs, on pills, to sleep with them. You are a monster. Yeah, that's called a crime. You act like your friends were not drug addicts. They all were drug addicts. Stop. Stop with the games. You're acting as if your friends are not drug addicts. Like they ain't never took a pill before unless they were around Sean Combs. He made them take drugs. Get out of here. Stop that. He made us take drugs. There's people that work with Combs, Mr. Combs, who were assistants that he requested they could not take drugs. Remember the guy almost got fired for smoking weed? When he thought Diddy was in for the night and Diddy came out the door, he's like, what you doing? You can't smoke no weed. So he's cool. Yeah, so he's cool with everybody else except for you. This girl she's a head case. She's a head case. A head case. Now, she cooked for a baby oil boy. What you say? She cooked for a baby oil boy? Now, let's get back to her delusion of grandeur. So in her mind, none of her friends did drugs. They were all taken advantage of. They were forced and all beaten into submission. He forced drugs down their throats and then he R-worded them. That's what we're supposed to believe happened, according to this woman here. And if this all happened, right, why did it happen to you? If that's what he was doing, did he force you to take drugs while you were cooking for him? And then you witnessed all of this? No, you say you witnessed one person, right? One person, Cassie Ventura. That was the only person you witnessed. So if that was the one person you witnessed in all of this succession that went down, why on earth? Why on this planet are you talking about your friends? Why are you talking about them? If the only thing you witnessed and the only beatdown you witnessed with them was Cassie's. Do you know that this isn't a domestic violence case? I don't understand. This is a misjustice. No, you just don't know the case because you wasn't following the case. Because if you was, you would understand this wasn't a domestic violence case. So you saying what you're saying is just an opinion. Press the like button, good people. Hit the button up. Don't forget to hit that super chat. The Cash App works. Now, we've tackled her alcoholism, 7 years sober. Congratulations to her for her 7 years. Right? But what were you like? What made you go into sobriety? When it started affecting your job, right? Talk to him, Chef. So when things started to go bad with you, with your temper, with your drinking, what did you do? You went and got help to get better, right? So only women can get better at something. Men have to be punished because you just singled out every man in the world and said women voices aren't heard. You said women all are taken advantage of by these dirty executives in this game. And women voices are not heard. That has been the biggest crock of bull I've ever heard. Do you know how many female executives there are in the music industry now? Plenty of them. Plenty of female executives. Do you realize that the industry that they're in is predominantly male? No one gets taken advantage of more than them. You act like it's an all-male organization over there. There are females that work there too. But it's believed every woman, even when they obviously lying. Why don't you address some of the things that were actually said in the trial? Or do you know? And if you don't know, you should know. Well, you should do what Diddy and the guy that grabbed your wrist told you to do. Stay in your effing place. Your place is in the kitchen. Not because she's a woman, because she's a chef. For all you sexist people. He told her to stay in her place, and it's in the kitchen, because she's a chef. But she gets the message. Stay in your lane. She's not a liar. She's delusional. She talks without having any facts. What she does is make assumptions. She's assuming Diddy broke in her car. She's assuming harassment. She's assuming these women were all R-worded. She's assuming all of these people, everything they said about Diddy is true. They're not lying. Cassie completely lied in this trial. She told numerous of lies. She's been called out by the workers who were there with Mr. Combs and her, the three of them. The workers have come out and said it. You're going to have about 3 or 4 of them. We got 2 now that came out. Trust me, there's 2, probably 3 to 4 more that's coming out and exposing Cassie's lies. All since the trial been over, they're like, okay, the trial's over, good. I can start talking. And they've been coming out like, nah, she was with this. And like, she hooked this up, she hooked that up. You know how dirty Cassie is, and you sitting in here trying to act and show support. You care so much for Cassie. Why didn't you call the cops then when it was happening? When you saw it, you ain't say nothing. For 15 years, you said and did nothing. You went by your business and didn't think about her business, right? But you cared for it's all women. Well, look out for all women, and y'all gotta look out. You ain't look out for Cassie. If she was such the victim, why didn't you pick up the phone? Dial 911. Why didn't you tell her to call the police? The Jen girl or whatever, when they was arguing and going at it, why didn't you wanted to get involved? Huh? You didn't call no authorities? Nothing. When you left, nobody came to grab you and force you back? Was you able to leave when you left? Yes, you left. So what's your point? You left. Yeah. Right. You know how bad it has to be when a jury see you getting your ass beat, still say not guilty? That speaks volume. Because it wasn't a domestic violence case. They tried to make it one, and it's like, okay, domestic violence is not on the table. So if you are the jury, you already know that you can't even look at the domestic violence as something because they keep trying to shove it down your throat to play you shock and awe to get the jury to be sympathetic to her because she got, and the tape is not, you're not seeing her on tape really getting beat on. I keep telling you, that tape is nothing. There's no blows thrown on the tape. He pulls her down. He tries to kick her, and he basically missed when he threw the kick, and then he stepped on her leg. And then he grabs her jacket and tries to pull her back. That's the only violence that's on tape. And the media and the news, this is the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like, what? Get the hell up out of here. I mean, it's a bad look for Diddy and it's bad, but come on. You know, you listen to Harvey Levin and his horrible takes. Nobody's supposed to be hit. Nobody. But stop saying that's the worst thing we've ever seen in our life. Don't program me. You can't gaslight me. That shit don't work. I've seen worse. She got pulled down, stepped on the leg, and then he tried to drag her by her jacket. They made up all kind of lies. He pulled her by the hair. No, he grabbed her jacket. It's not her hair. But there were other times that they described. He conceded to that yeah, and that's what they're trying to say. Well, these are the grounds we're trying to keep him behind bars. It's like, come on, man, really? We're getting a lot of outrage. I don't give a damn what kind of outrage you get. They could be living all they want. It's the law. Because he shouldn't be in jail for nothing anyway. Yeah, he should be free. But this is why I always say to all y'all out there, man, that's why this stuff is important. They try to make it like it's not important. It's very important. Oh, yeah, they were all messed up. They didn't want nothing to do. They wanted nothing to do with. Yeah, they wanted nothing to do with any of the activities that was going on there. Clyde Davis had a party while Whitney was dead upstairs. Yep. Wasn't gonna stop the show. Yeah. There's so many things that people don't realize in this game. Right. A nut job. That's all she is a nut job. Nah. That's why we always say, that's why we always tell these people, exactly, a bad judgment call. Bad judgment of chefs caused this because they don't know how to cook. Yeah, she could cook desserts. I knew a chick that's only could cook desserts. And it's women like that. They can make desserts, but they can't really cook meals. They're good at desserts. She seems like a dessert, like a pastry chef. But yeah, she's one of those women who want to blame they want to go ahead and blame all men for all the problems in the world. It's always a man's fault. Never once did she mention she was once doing drugs. Did a man force you to do drugs? Oh, it was just alcoholism. Oh, so you was just drunk with no drugs ever in your system. Okay. Please answer these questions. When you go live next time, go through your closet. Put the spotlight on you for a minute. Why you calling this man a functioning drug addict and all of these things? What about you? You've been sober for 7 years, and congratulations to you, but you once was at his point, weren't you? You was unbearable to deal with, losing friends and opportunities. So you had to make a change.
Hey, y'all. Hey, it is July 4th, and today marks 7 years of my alcoholic sobriety. And I wanted to say shout out to me because I made it. Because I would definitely like to admit there's been a few days throughout this past year that I definitely debated drinking, especially in the last 48 hours. And I'm sure that a lot of people have a lot of opinions on me using my voice and speaking out against being assaulted by my former employer. And I would just like to say that throughout this experience, I have really realized that our community is sick, and we have a tendency to act like criminal behavior is okay. And being someone that actually was involved in this case, I do not believe that it was handled properly. And I think that if they would have focused on all of the executives that knew about the criminal behavior and that helped cover it up, there would have been a RICO conviction. That is my honest opinion. And yeah, just wanted to get on here and just to clear that up for everyone that is actually confused, that just because we in our community want to pacify illegal behavior does not make it right. Abuse against women is a huge problem, not just within our community, but just within America, apparently. Money, power, and influence, pretty much you can get away with anything. That's clear. And yeah, and everyone's like, well, why didn't you speak out before? Why didn't you speak out before? Because I was scared. And also I was under an NDA. And when it came to Cassie's story, it was not mine to tell. And so there is your response on that. And all I can do now is move forward. But I just wanted to say that today is my 7 years of alcoholic sobriety. And considering what has really been going on, I am extremely proud of myself. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Hope everyone has a great day. Happy 4th of July, and don't drink and drive.
Yeah, like you. Right. She made sure after every freak off, Diddy had something to eat. Here's some nutrition for your freak off. All right, that's what's up. Like, Diddy gonna be worried about the chef? Like, really? So you think the government should have went after the executives for the RICO? And they screwed it up. They would have had a RICO if they went and got the executives that be covering up the stuff that's happening. So if the executives are covering up the stuff that's happening, how would the chef know? If they would have investigated them, who are they, chef? Now you the executive chef? You've seen a lot, huh, chef? Again, the chef got a lot of times on their hand to not be showing you meals that they're cooking. Right? I told you, whenever they start putting out a book now, like get my book and look at my boob, you know they're not cooking.
Hey, hey.
So this is you posting yourself in front of a Sean John poster. Diddy, you're so traumatically afraid that on June the 20th, you posted this photo of you when you were younger in front of a Sean John poster. Seems like you're attention grabbing. Look, there you go with a bottle in your hand. Can't think without a drink. There you go in the kitchen. Right? This when you was working for Diddy. Back when you was a lush.
I just would like to.
And look at it.
Bunch of
All this
Putting
woman
my own spin on a viral
I'm
sensation.
super excited to announce the launch of my homegirl, Rose Claire Marie's chef coat line, the modern culinarian. Get into the details. It's actually a zipper, not a button. And then this futuristic pocket, okay? I'm about to take y'all on a little ride of a blueberry Danish bread pudding. Get into it.
Bread pudding.
There she going out with her friends, drinking her water or whatever she drinking. High power women don't need saving. They need a sanctuary where their softness is safe. What is a high power woman? I'm telling you, they come up with so much garbage to try to cover up their whoreness. Well, she can't settle down. She's a high power woman. They come up with every line they can. You know, we were on a break. You cheated on him. Well, we were both going tit for tat. Tit for tat. I'm a high-powered woman. What makes you high-powered? This is that kind of, see, now this is the kind of BS I be talking about, right? And then y'all be getting mad, but this is the kind of BS we be talking about. She's a high-powered woman. Now you see what I be talking about? All this nonsense. See, I'm confused. Are they Cassie fans? Because Cassie don't mention them. Exactly. See, you know why she don't mention them? Because there's nothing to mention. Cassie ain't a fan of none of them. Only thing Cassie wants to do is use them. That's it. That's what their job is, to be used by Cassie. Oh, yeah. She was just high. No, she just lied. No, I think she probably suffers from mental, whatever, mental problems she got. Seeing Cassie be re-victimized in the press and these blogs with a disingenuous apology. She got $30 million. She don't care about no apology. I can't imagine being in your shoes, Cassie. I can't imagine what it feels like to relive such trauma. I can't imagine what it feels like to have your whole world team tearing you down. Who's been tearing her down? Sex grooming. It's not sex grooming if you're looking at the testimony and seeing her text messages. Now, if she didn't have all these
I
texts
just would like to say this.
going out, if she didn't do all these activities, Cassie wasn't afraid of nobody. Cassie did things that you guys wouldn't even believe. My whole truth to the whole situation with Cuddy, oh, come on. We gonna go on the Patreon and you gonna know about the Cuddy story. So on the Patreon, we gonna do that one. And we're gonna talk about that. Mm-hmm. Cassie probably like, who this be? So the shelf is another teaser tales. They all, yeah. She's another one trying to relive like she was a victim. When her name was brought up in the trial, it was only the fact mm-hmm. Yeah, let the diddler watch your kids. I mean, why would you let Diddy watch your kids? I mean, I don't think he gonna bring harm to the kids. What point did that happen? Hell, I wouldn't let anybody watch my kids. Hardly anybody. Well, when you've been in the business a long time, you see these opportunists. You know, she's using Cassie and her situation to try to spin this into a big thing to get some followers to her page and everything else. So when she wrote her letter, have you noticed the people that was claimed they were there and seen it? Like Deontay Nash wrote a letter. Oh, I want him. I'm nervous. I'm scared of what he might do when he gets out. Diddy's gonna have the federal government watching him. So why would he be going in there? Like, that's the dumbest thing a human being could ever do. What are you gonna do? Get out of jail and be like, yeah, I heard y'all was talking about me. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's why I'm here. We're gonna put an end to that. What you gonna do? Ring your bell? What? Yeah, it's Diddy. Come to the door. I don't want you to come in. Well, I'm coming up. I heard you talk to the feds and told them a bunch of bull. I want to talk now. Yeah, I'm home now. Bad boy, we back. Is that what they think gonna happen? It's silly. It's social media crap. That's all it is. It's all noise. They failed. They failed. They failed the American people. They should have never done anything with this case. Oh yeah. This would be the opportunity for somebody else to get them. You know what it is? It's the opportunity. Because I know what I said in my video and I know what she said in hers. That's how I said to me and everybody else. But she definitely was addressing me based on what I said in the video. She definitely addressed it. And so I had to come back and tell her and straighten her right back out. See, every time they get out of line, I put them right back in line. Oh, great. This is Gilbert Arenas. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they get it right, then that's when people start acting right. I'm not beefing with Gil. I just answered back to his crazy message. He just sent me now talking about debating is this is for this, debate is that. He talking about debate. I'm like, no, well, you can't debate. All you got is an opinion. Debates are people's own opinions. Whether they have evidence to back it up, he just say you don't want to debate. Let me tell this boy on the day. Just say you don't want to debate. A debate is based on other people's opinions, which they back up with what they have as evidence for it. But it's their belief. You can't show me any proof LeBron James is better than Paul Pierce or anybody. Like, what is this guy's problem? He started sniffing coke. Well, you're dealing with No, Dirty Dick Murdoch. Well, that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you're doing the best you can when you are doing your thing. Right? That's the gist of it. That's all I can tell people. Just do the best you can. Because this game is rigged and they rigged it for you to fail. Exactly. Gil doesn't want to debate me. Like this is all of this stuff that he's doing is because he's scared to debate. He's scared to debate, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I say get your computers, get your facts that you think you know. I know because I watched the games. You can't tell me no Kobe Bryant is a role player. No. LeBron's a damn role player, really, but he's really a franchise player, though, because you could build around him. And you really can't add LeBron to something and make a team better. It just don't work. Adding LeBron would never make it better. I've seen 16 people make the same mistakes you just talking about right now. 16 of them. So it never went to another side of the coin with me. It often went to the same thing. So well, when you start talking like that, that's when things get, that's when they start blurring the lines. Now, we don't want to start blurring lines around here because that's when things start getting out of hand. Once again, we start going down this rabbit hole where things just don't make sense. Well, to do that, it actually puts everything in a whole big demise. They never knew anybody that could, hold anything down. Like you often wanted to find the one person Well, yeah, it is what it is. So absolutely. It was already a done dealer at that point. But we'll get into those down the road. There's a lot of stuff people don't know. But let me go ahead and update the Patreon some more. We uploaded today. We talked about Gene Deal, corrected a lot of people on a lot of things that he said that was just some total misdirection. So on that note, shouts out to everybody out there doing their things. Your boy Karceno. I am out. Peace.